Hello everyone, I'm JP and welcome to my channel. And we're going to talk about football today, and more specifically the English Premier League, with Arsenal playing away at West Ham a few hours ago. Before we go any further though, I'd like to remind you to hit the like and subscribe channels so that you don't miss out on any of my future content. So I'm going to walk you through to the game that took place a few hours ago between Arsenal and West Ham. What a game that was, ladies and gentlemen. An absolutely crazy game. It ended with a 1-0 win for Arsenal. West Ham did have the ball in the net, however, the goal was overturned by VAR after a VAR review, because Arsenal's goalkeeper had been pushed, so the goal couldn't stand. And the way things are now, Arsenal are now 5 points clear of Manchester City, who earlier in the week crucially dropped 2 points against Everton in a 3-3 draw. And Arsenal, with these 5 points, with 5 points separating Arsenal and Manchester City, although one can argue that Manchester City now still have 3 games to play, but some of those are going to be very difficult games. They're going to play Crystal Palace, then they're also going to play Bournemouth, and they're in their final game they play Aston Villa, and Aston Villa is most probably going to play in the Champions League next season. So none of those games are going to be easy for the citizens. And one could argue that today's goal from Trossard was probably Arsenal's most important goal over the last 2 decades. And get this has been an incredible week for the Gunners. They've qualified for the Champions League the first time in 20 years, in 2 decades, and they're now clear favorites to win the Premier League, their first Premier League in 22 years. This is unbelievable. And to think that only a few weeks back, people were extremely critical of Mikel Arteta. They were extremely critical of the players. But you've got to admit, since Bukayo Saka has returned to the fore, Arsenal have been a different team. They've now got that belief in them, and the season is ending in an incredible way. It's a game of fine margins, but you've got to admit that Arsenal are literally riding high right now. They've already played a cup final, which they unfortunately lost to Manchester City. However, they're in the final of the Champions League, and they're 5 points ahead of Manchester City. I think many teams would do anything to be in Arsenal's shoes right now. So Arsenal fans, I'll say it again, make sure you rejoice. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all for today. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons once again, and please stay tuned. Peace.